Hello and welcome everyone to the 34th episode of our D&D 5e campaign titled Roaches. Today's recap will be, as usual, done by Lodwick.
Hello, everyone. So, the last time you will remember that our party, um, having crossed a part of a desert and some dunes, arrived at a crevice or at an area with a crevice in it. And at the side of this crevice rose some kind of bird like creature made of sand. That creature started to attack the party with a combination of fire and necrotic based attacks. And although tough, Um, it was come over eventually by our party, getting its final blow by Mel, or at least his weapon Abigail. With that dealt with, the party decided to go deeper down into the crevice and did so until they reached the bottom. It was they took a short rest somewhere halfway bottom to catch up their breath and then continued on. Arriving at the bottom of the crevice, they found an entire system of caves and tunnels, as well as the remains of some sort of creature and several gem-like rocks. Those remains were deduced by Arahant to be those of a purple worm. And the gem-like rocks, I do not think we were able to ascertain what they were. Knowing, well, it's an expose from Arahant, knowing that many creatures that live underground do possess other senses than sight, he preconized that the party would go further in, but in a stealthy manner, which they did. What came after was an entire network of tunnels and caves. It had several bends and turns, several crossings, but they decided to ignore all those crossings, all those bends and turns, and to continue straight forward. Going straight on, after a while, they heard a bubbling sound, knowing that one of the possibilities that waste blood could arise on the surface is through um, a bubbling
Geyser?
pool of. Huh?
What's the word you're looking for? Geyser?
Well, there were several possibilities. It could be formed as drops um, falling from the ceiling. It could also be um, erupting in the form of a geyser. But hearing the bubbling sound, they thought, well, it could be a pool or a source of waste blood. They continued forward following the sounds, and they came to a part of the tunnels that was lit by lanterns, and written in giant, which only Arahant could read and understand. It was it said hideout. Because of those lanterns, uh, they knew that they could be visible to creatures that relied on sight. The party decided to use the invisibility spells or spell to make themselves invisible and to push forward. They did so and arrived, surprisingly, or should I say not, a giant settlement with in the middle of this settlement a small lake which bubbled and fumed. And they saw several giants in full armor enjoying a bath in that lake. They decided, because they know that the waste blood is quite toxic, they deduced that it was more akin to a hot spring than a real pool or lake of waste blood. Arahan did some reconnaissance using the fact that he was invisible, and did not find any clues about waste blood, but did found out that the settlement was a dead end. Relaying that information back to the party decided to backtrack their steps, and in doing so, thanks to Sauron's Devil's Sight, he was able to warn the rest of them that a huge frame of a rusty-colored winged dragon stood at the last crossing they came from, and the dragon, or dragon-like creature, was sniffing the air and ready to pounce. A bit alarmed, the party quickly discussed the situation and decided to avoid that encounter. And they tried to sneak past the dragon, in which thankfully they succeeded. Going further into the tunnel they took, they saw at the end of it, they saw some sunlight filtering down. And as they arrived at that place, their invisibility spell wear out. They followed the light and climbed back to the surface, and they arrived at a big wasteland made of black rocks. And that's where the session ended.
Yes, it is. And where our section begins is oh, I should have just done that at the end of last session instead of at the beginning of this session, but it begins with a hand grabbing our shoulder. Each finger on said hand is about the length of your forearm.
Arahant is yelping. And do not dare turn back. How do the fingers look like? Insectoid,
Well,
or more akin to our fingers, but then
they
more
look like a full human hand, but they are armored or covered in they're either covered in armor or in some sort of bronze colored, yeah, I guess the only word to describe it's really armor, whether it's natural or artificial.
it could be chitin.
That would actually be the material it reminds you of the most.
Mm-hmm. And does it seem that as the fingers are made out of this material, or only covered by that material?
They are covered in it, coming to sharp points. It's kind of hard to say. Well, because they are quite thick and they definitely adhere to the form of a human hand. except for kind of ending in more rounded points than actual human nails.
Mm. Arahant will say, gentlemen, would you please slowly turn to face me and tell me what you see? For what I see is a quite a large hand with very long fingers.
Well, I mean, is it lit up here? Because if not, then I don't see shit.
You are outside, so
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we did get out. Okay, well,
I
what
am
do I see?
asking this to ascertain if I'm having one of my visions again, and this would be a first one because I am fully awake and conscious, or if it's an actual creature grabbing me on the shoulder. And that's what Arahant is relaying to the Sauron and Mel.
does Mel turn around?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he asked me to, so I will.
There's a giant grabbing our aunt's shoulder.
Oops.
Alright, I mean, I will definitely probably take aim at him and ask him what his business is.
Yeah,
Uh,
seeing that Mel is taking aim, Arahant knows that Mel is seeing it also, so Arahant is slowly turning his head over his shoulder as far as he can go, because he's not a gnome.
um, then the creature will speak in giant, which our aunt speaks, as far as I know.
Yes, indeed.
No, I'd get bits and pieces because of the dwarven roots, but otherwise, no.
Oh yeah, why would it even reply to you if it can't understand what you are saying? It says, "What are you doing in our cave?" Or what were you doing in our cave?
We were, uh, well, first of all, pardon our intrusion. Um, Second, you must have very sharp senses because we were invisible. And third, to answer your inquiry, we were looking for waste blood. And because we heard a bubbling sound coming from from a certain direction, which apparently was your settlement, we thought we had found a source, a possible source of it. We did. We had no intention whatsoever to invade you or start a war or seek quarrel with you.
I have observed you since you entered the cave. From the desert.
On a horse with no name.
Um, can you also speak common? Because I am afraid my companions are not very fluent in the language of the giants. And still in giant, he's saying they are not as well learned as me. Arhand is pushing it, but hey, when you're talking in a language that others cannot understand, I mean,
We have long forgotten your kind, Stone.
may I then translate in short sentences what we are discussing, and I can eventually relate also what they are asking you through me. Would this suffice? Good sir.
Yes.
Much
But
obliged. And Arantes relay is translating in brief what the giant was saying.
your presence risks luring demons into our cave.
At this point, we just assuming that Arhan's translating it to
Yes.
us. Okay.
Yeah. For the sake of ease of play, yes.
Okay.
And
I
let's
mean,
say that when you want to say something, you are saying it to Arhant, and Arhant is translating it, and so forth, and so.
yeah. Well, the goal was a quick in and out, get the substance, and get out of here.
And also, in the caves, we only witnessed bits of pieces of what seemed to be a purple worm. Some strange creatures, like a troglodyte, I think, and also a dragon-like creature.
A troglodyte?
I thought so. It could be that I have imagined it, but you can say that I am either blessed or cursed. Take your pick. With the gift of prophecy and vision. Well, I do not know if it's a gift. I consider it more like a curse because I rarely have a good night of sleep because of it. But we found pieces of purple worm and at least a dragon or a dragon-like creature. So if they are your natural enemies, depending on, of course, the type of demon you would encounter, I think that the dragon and the purple worm are maybe tougher and more dangerous than most demons.
They may be, but or at least the dragon may be. There, I don't think there are purple worms in this cave anymore. Though the dragon simply does not fit into a hideout.
No, definitely
It should
was
it should be
looking to
noted
be an
that
ambush.
that guy is that the giant is slightly larger than the dragon.
No. So, in any case, our business is ours, and we have no desire to have any altercation with your lot. Our goals are to help those in need by obtaining that substance. It seems to be their only way through a particular ailment.
Well, we do not store this poison in our hideout, and we didn't, and we did not see it in the caves anyway, so or at all. And as that leaves you with no reason to return, I think we can both walk away from the Strait of Happy.
Does it seem like he's lying?
Give me an insight.
Oh, maybe. Shitloads. Ba-ba-bum. Damn.
You can't really ascertain anything, as at least by the you can neither ascertain the tone of its voice, as the conversation is being translated, nor the facial features, as its entire face is covered by like a big bronze plate.
No. I guess there isn't any reason to tread on your all's turf anymore.
I'm glad we have come to an understanding. The giant disappears.
Just poof, suddenly, or put, put out his hand and disappears into some crack in the ground or so.
Nope, it just ceases to be.
You see Mel just visually scratching his head.
And other hand, I didn't know giants were able to do that.
I mean, good thing I guess they didn't mean any harm. It'd be an odd ability to have to face.
A pity that we forgot to ask the good giant where we could find a possible source of his blood.
Yeah, they seem pretty homebody mind. Not sure they would venture too far out to see as much. But in any case, I guess get back to it. Or we're beset by some other adversary.
So I was just looking at. I was just looking to find out who of you has the highest charisma, and
Not Arahant.
Yeah, we both suck.
Mel won by a very thin margin.
I have an Arahant has a 7.
I have an 8.
He's going with the entire Cassandra vibe. What he sees is the truth, but no one believes him. Or he cannot convince or has a hard time convincing others of what he's
Well,
seeing.
what you see when you turn back around, away from the cave again, is will also be hard to convince yourself of, as what didn't appear to be there uh, in the black stone, in the plane made from black stone, are multiple. You could call them monoliths. Maybe is megalith an actual word, or do people just like to use it for a big monolith? Um. Anyway, an assortment of monoliths of different sizes. They seem to be set up in a concentric, like circle-like or multiple circle-like manner, with the tallest one in the middle, two slightly smaller ones around it, and then all matter of even smaller ones just in multiple circles around the three.
Hmm.
So we have the center, monolith, then two monoliths around it, and then uh, several other monoliths, but that all form circles around those three other pillars. Is it so that I have to see it?
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. The first thing that would come to mind to Arahant, being a divination wizard, is to look at those monoliths and try to ascertain if they have some kind of purpose for measuring time, like a calendar, or some kind of observation purpose, maybe for observing the position of certain stars, or maybe the sun, and on several points of time, or things like that.
So you want to go up close?
Well,
One
from a
of my favorite
distance,
questions.
from a distance, what is the first, what is the first feel? So the first, no, the first feel of Arhant would be such a monolith would be used for some kind of timekeeping or astronomical observatory of some kind, um, and he would want to see if that thought is correct, yes or no, from a distance, or to ascertain it, him he has to go closer.
Um, Give me just a general intelligence check.
Here we go.
You can neither confirm nor exclude the possibility of the rocks being used to measure time.
Mhm. A closer look would be needed to
Mm-hmm.
to confirm or refute this theory.
Do you
Well,
maybe
Arahant
want
will
to tell your theory to Mal?
uh, Arahant will tell it to the rest of the party, yes, and
Mal,
ask
can
them.
you give me an intelligence check?
I give you an intelligence check.
Mm-hmm. What?
Nice.
What is happening?
3 nat ones in a row. That's spicy.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, it surely might be a way to measure time. Who knows?
Well, I once had a Call of Cthulhu game, a Call of Cthulhu session, in which, and I am not kidding you, we had uh, uh, we, we, we had 16 rolls, and they were all 16 failures, and not simple failures, but major failures and several critical fails.
There's a
And
Pokemon
Congress.
RPG system in which I once got confused, and it basically works. Technically, you roll d6s, but it's basically just flipping coins.
Mm.
So like it's a dice pool, but technically it could just be a bunch of flipped coins for a lot of rolls. And a Psyduck confused me. And to remove confusion, you have to, I think, was it just a single success on a coin flip? And you get to make one each turn, something like that.
Mm.
But I failed 16 in a row. I think it was actually was also 16. Yes.
So the odds are quite small, but hey, they are there. So what do we do? Do we inspect those monoliths closer, or do we try to go somewhere else? And in that case, which direction would we go to?
I mean, I guess you could check magic on them.
Yeah, well, I have you have to be within 30 feet to be able to detect magic on it. With a spell, I mean.
Oh, okay.
So for any closer investigation of any kind,
Do you
I
have
should have
something like uh God, how do you call those binoculars?
a spyglass.
Yeah,
Mm, let me look in my
that
inventory.
would at least allow you to inspect them closer.
Man, if you do, why haven't I stolen that and made a scope out of
Well, do you have a scope?
it?
No.
Okay.
Arahant does have uh, a magnifying glass.
Yeah, that kinda doesn't work that well for high distances.
No, indeed. But no spyglass.
No spyglass. Okay. I completely forgot what happens with a magnifying glass at high distances.
I think the image grows smaller.
Ah, okay.
Mechanically, here in D&D, the magnifying glass allows you to have advantage on investigation checks when looking closely at some kind of object
Okay.
or things like that.
Wow. What you doing?
Well, Arhant is asking the question again. Should we go closer or and then
I
take
mean,
a better look, or should we just try to best guess our next direction?
I mean, I figure they're probably more in your purview, but it's entirely up to you whether the risk is worth checking them out.
Well, I have to say, I have to admit I am intrigued by such a construction.
Well, I'll have your back if you decide to tackle it. If not, then we can move on and figure out another route.
Well, thank you for your support. In that case, I know what my direction will be. And Arhant is starting to walk towards the monolithic structures, or monolithic structure.
And I'm assuming Melby will be walking kind of with him.
I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, I got pretty long range.
Yeah, but not like half a mile or something.
Yeah.
Especially for like good range and not like your long range. Although, wait, you don't care about your your short slash long range.
No, it's 400 or nothing. Anything within 400.
Okay. Well, our hand. Upon closer inspection, the smaller stones have inscriptions upon them written in abyssal. As you kind of arrive at one of the outer circles. You do have abyssal. I checked it.
Okay, thank you.
um,
Yes, all the options during character creation that would be able to grant me extra languages, I took.
um, most of them, or the descriptions, basically boil down to we reject order, we reject goodness, we yeah, that's most of it, and then just different formulations like we reject all that is good, we reject we reject law, we reject, I guess, the ordering, and so on and so forth.
Mhm. Okay, well, Arahant will say those inscription and abyssal do seem to correspond with the credo of those who follow Akishigal.
Or any kind of demon for that matter.
Yeah, indeed. But I thought that that Akishigal especially wanted to bring down civilization.
Yeah. I mean, all of the demon lords kind of bring down civilization in their own way.
Oh, anarchist at heart. Well, acting upon some knowledge, do I see the object that was spoken of?
Um. Well, looking at the central monolith, or from here, uh, you can on the three central monoliths see them kind of that their foot is kind of surrounded by a bed of, I guess, crystalline thorns, or I guess just crystalline crystals. They're usually semi-thorn shaped, like just growing out of the foot of each monolith.
Yeah,
With
crystal vein.
and at the foot of the biggest one, you can see one of the crystals that seems like a jagged, thorned black heart. anatomically correct heart, not that hard.
And that's on the central monolith.
Yes, just at its foot. The heart does seem to be. It actually seems to be pumping black liquid.
Hmm. Reluctantly, very reluctantly, Mel will move a little closer.
There is one thing that happens to you. You notice that some of that once you enter the circle, some of the magic within Abigail seems to be at least temporarily disabled. And do you have another item that would be disabled in here?
My shoes.
Oh, your shoes, yes.
So I'd hear my footsteps after so long of nothing.
Yeah. And you keep on walking?
I kind of noticed the changes, probably mostly the footsteps suddenly being in my ears after however many travels. And then kind of glance back at Aron, and grumble, and then head forwards.
What's the matter, Mel?
I mean, I'm not much into magics and such, but it seems that some of my more enchanted items as such are not functioning around here. As I draw closer.
Hmm. Well, let me test something. And Arhant will cast light on the tip of his staff.
That would work.
That would work.
Yep.
Okay. Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
oh yeah, which of the... Oh god, who had which of the magic items from the 6? I think the... No, okay. No, none of those should be disabled.
I know that Arhant had the statue.
Yeah, the statue should keep working. There should be no issue with that.
Yeah, then I have the javelin.
Yeah.
Well, it does not seem to suppress the magic I'm casting on my staff. So either it's made to inhibit specific kinds of magics, or
Um,
else there's another purpose behind it that I cannot figure out.
our hand may make an Arcana check. I mean, technically Mel may also, but it's Mel.
Yeah, I'm gonna elect not to because I have no
Yeah, I
knowledge of.
had assumed so.
No, well, here there was nothing. I have a plus 11, but if it goes the same way as the last 3 rolls,
That should be good enough. Those kind of stones are sometimes used by demonic cults to eliminate meddling from outside planes, or specifically like opposite outside planes.
hmm,
So they would suppress your items of angelic or devilish origin.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems, Mel, that I was close enough with my first assumption. Um, because it's demonic in nature, it inhibits apparently several spells that are connected with its antithesis.
If you are actually standing within the circles, our hunt, you should also be close enough to read the inscriptions on the center monoliths, the three. The two smaller ones state, "We reject valor, for it was by valor that the Golden General fell into the grasp of the city, and we reject charity, for it was by charity that the false beggar fell into the grasp of the city."
So we
The
reject. The first one says we reject
valor.
valor because it was valor that
Caused the Golden General to fall into the grasp of the city.
into the grasp of the city. And the other one, we reject
Charity,
charity.
for by charity the false beggar fell into the grasp of the city.
The fourth,
False beggar.
the false.
And the central one states, "We reject ambition, for it was by ambition that the cursed sister put a curse upon our people."
Because it was by ambition that the
Cursed sister put a curse upon our people.
cursed sister.
And this stuff's written in a different language, right? So it's all
Yeah,
gobbledygook.
it's in Abyssal.
Yeah.
Arhant will be um, reading it and then paraphrasing it to the rest of the um, party. So I think that my original thesis that it's some kind of instrument to record time or to do some observations is more like a monument or a testament to what they believe in, and also maybe a place where they can be secure as it wards them against everything that they would consider enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's some kind of sacred or holy place. Well, holy. Arhant is chuckling. What a demon could consider to be holy or sacred to its cause and credo.
Yes. By the way, do you know the issue with your time theory?
Yes.
It's
We have only X amount of time before we are
no,
recalled.
no, the issue with your theory of this thing being like a clock.
What do you mean?
You had the theory that this device, the whole thing, would be a clock. As this
Yes,
is now
or
basically,
some or
as
some sign of some kind of calendar or an observation platform, a bit like Stonehenge.
there's the issue with just the sun not really moving in proper patterns here.
Mm. Yeah, indeed, it would make it difficult to make it a recording device unless it's using some kind of eldritch geometry that we do not know of.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
non-Euclidean geometry time.
Yes, indeed.
well, Mel will move
And then we're
close.
going into Call of Cthulhu again.
Now Mel will move closer and particularly up to the heart-like structure. Does the heart beat?
Um, the heart does slightly beat, yes.
Even creepier. Nice. Okay.
Whoa.
And grumbling again, and with a sigh, Mel will try to take the heart.
And is it an image or is it a sculpture?
It's a sculpture, or I guess
Oh,
it's maybe less of a sculpture, more of like a grown from crystal thing, as it actually has like crystalline spikes on it that
mhm.
just seem like they are growing out of it. Um, yeah, the heart separates from the rest of the crystal structure by basically breaking off of its major veins and arteries, and you now hold it in your hand. You have to kind of turn it like on its back so that the black liquid doesn't like run out of it.
Yeah. But how big is it?
Uh, the size of a pig's heart or a human heart.
Okay. Well, I think I got our substance. Kind of like show Arahan the liquid.
Within the heart then.
Yes.
Damn it, phone.
Oh, I guess now, and you'll see as he just moves to. I don't know what would be the best, because I don't want to tip over.
Well, um, I
Make
do
a
have.
necklace out of it or
Let
something.
me check my inventory first, because I know he's proficient with a herbalism kit and alchemist supplies, but does he has them also?
I think you have alchemist supplies. I think I saw them.
Yes, and I also have a herbalism kit and a healer's kit also.
So you could just, so you can just pour the liquid into bottles.
Yes, indeed. He would have vials and little flasks and test tubes and things like that on hand. So Arhant made of glass, and Arhant would say, "Well, I can offer you a few vials and test tubes. We do know that glass is effective uh, um in resisting the poison, and apparently this uh, this also seems to be the case for those crystals. So I think everything that is crystalline in nature would be a good container. If you want, we can gently and gingerly pour some of that liquid of the waste blood into a few of my vials.
Yeah, the heart kind of makes for a very bad container as it just has multiple openings.
Yes, indeed. And Arahant is already opening up his satchel with you see several test tubes and things like that. And
Does
it's
Mel
fine.
get any hint of apprehension to that?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, he's like, all right, yeah. I mean, perhaps this thing produces it or such, so we can get any of the runoff. That'd probably make it easier to transport. I say we bring it as well, just to let them look it over and see if it could be a tool for future defense against that.
Hmm.
So he will allow the draining of the heart. How does it look after it's been has the waste blood
It is
drained?
now a hollow heart made of crystal. It's not as opaquely black as before, and you can see through the other side, although its color is still grayish.
Okay. Let's see what I have on hand. Probably just rig up a little necklace with it. Just wear it like an amulet.
You do.
Yeah, I got like little pieces of leather and shit. Yeah, that worked. So that's what I will attempt to fashion. Just a little
Uh,
amulet just to make it easier to carry.
yeah, that shouldn't be too hard.
So I'm
So
now wearing
we're
crystal heart.
pouring the liquid inside the heart into the vials,
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
and then once the heart is empty, you will fashion a kind of collar out of it, or a necklace.
Yeah, keeping the heart in case they need it for some reason, since it was a
Hmm.
receptacle of that
Okay.
stuff. Don't know if it's produced in there, just somehow comes to be deposited.
And I just noticed a typo somewhere. Hmm. So, you now have your waste blood. What do you do now?
I mean, now it's just staying alive. How much longer do we think we have, approximately?
You wanted to go for like 5? Was it 5? No, it was 3 days, right?
Um, and I think it was more. Wait. Pom 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 pom. I
Yeah, I
still
think we
have
initially said a week, but then the angel talked us down to like slightly less than a week.
4 days. 4
Okay,
days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Um, You
The
might have actually spent close to a day in the caves, or at least like not a day and a night, but close to an actual day.
Okay. If I were to look around, what would strike Mel as the waste like?
As the what? As the I think one word cut out.
What would strike him as waste like?
I mean, this whole place is kind of called the the wastes. So
Ah, okay. I don't know if there's a particular region in it.
it's the name of this. I guess it's not really a demi-plane. It's more of a semi-plane, half-plane, like literally the physical half of a plane.
Hmm.
Um, there's the way back to the desert, or I guess not just the desert, but that higher up place in general behind you. There's also in front of you just this land made entirely of the black stone, um, which basically on all sides seem to either just end in you not being to see anything due to fog or dust uh, after a certain distance, or just cliffs leading upwards. Yeah, like to even more highland. This whole thing seems to be some sort of valley, or maybe even a dig out.
Mm-mm. I don't really know which of those calls to me more.
well the the area that disappears into fog would give a good cover or a good opportunity to for cover. But of course, uh, seeing that we are on a demonic plane, that fog could be, as far as we know, very dangerous, highly corrosive, poisonous, or maybe all of the above.
Well, even aside from that, we may have the idea of using that fog, but given this the native realm of whatever creatures, there could be some that are developed for that exact occasion.
Mm. And the peaks, well, the peaks do offer us great visibility, but also there's not much to hide us.
Hmm.
So which of the two evils will we take? We we are navigating between Charybdis and Scylla.
Well, I mean, I'm personally thinking the peaks at the moment, just to try to get a better lay of the land in general, and where
Mm.
we think we can hold up until it's time to port back.
Well, just as you trust my judgment in all things related to the arcane and the religious, So do I trust your viewpoint and opinions about strategy? So let's go to the peak then.
So the peak meaning just the highest cliff, or
Yes.
okay. The highest cliff would be a bit away and take a while of wandering through um, the, let's call it for lack of other terms, Blackstone Desert. Um, you have already been up and walking for a while, so
I guess first off, as we left that thing, does it seem like my items are good again?
yep.
Okay.
Um, so I'd say if you were to continue on to that cliff still today, you would probably have to force march.
Yeah, I mean one instance of force march shouldn't be too bad. You think you can handle it, Aron?
Well, one way to find out, and that's to do it.
Yeah. Um. Then you both can give me a DC 11 con save.
A con save. I only have a +1.
Hey, nice.
Oh well.
You then arrive at the foot of the cliffs. Do you want to make camp here? There don't seem to be any like cave entrances, at least as far as the eye can see along the cliff walls, and like really as far as you can see up the cliff in the area in which you stand.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is probably as good as any time to get a rest in.
Yeah, indeed. At least we have some secure location, and the fact that we have uh, this entire cliff at our backs, so we do not have to worry much about enemies getting us from behind.
Yeah, should be some sense of defense.
Does the sun goes down here or not?
Um,
And is it the sun at all?
Down here it's less of an actual sun and more just a generic glare coming from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it definitely lowered in intensity but it kind of comes and goes in waves. Uh, Not exactly following any kind of 24-hour pattern or anything similar.
Mm-hmm. It has no real pattern.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. It just dims and brightens again. So let's make a camp then.
Yep.
I think you have like a tent and stuff. Or at least one of you probably has a tent, please.
Mm,
Did you go into a wasteland without camping gear?
I got my bedroll and stuff.
But Arhant also has a bedroll and the things you would find in a adventurer's pack. I do remember that we went on a bit of shopping for to gather supplies, but I do not know what specifically, or I no longer remember it.
I mean, if there's any bit of wood anywhere, I can make like a lean-to against the side of the cliff.
You also don't have the wizard spell thing that Leonid's tiny hut, right? Leonon's, not Leonid.
Yeah.
Um, Not Arhant, no,
Okay.
because of his multi-class.
Ah, okay.
If we can get a level, then yes, he would be able to get it.
Uh, there's sadly no such thing.
Oh,
Okay, then you sleep
but,
relatively in the open.
did, did Sauron not have it?
I don't think so. I'm not sure if warlocks can even get it. Um, no, it's only bards and wizards.
Hmm. And do we have some wood?
Um, there are no trees going down here, so I hope you brought some wood.
There's none on this cliff at all.
I
Uh,
mean, you would
I,
have to go up the cliff if you
There.
want to, like just down here on like the black stone. There are no trees.
No, like I mean, I'd have some to whittle bolts and stuff, but not crazy amount to use for structure.
nope. And magically, Arhant would not be able to. Well, prestidigitation would be able to lit a fire, a campfire, but for that we need combustion. And I do not think that firebolt is a valuable substitute, nor is a sacred flame.
No.
No. Oh well, we're
Well, with prestidigitation, he could for 1 hour heat or chill objects. So we could use some loose rocks and he could heat it, but after an hour he would have to do it again.
could use rocks to make a little structure. Like
And if there is need for light, he can also cast light on a small stone or pebble or thing like that. But of course, without any means of being covered, that
well,
would
like I
they
said, we
would
could
stand
use
out,
some
of course.
rocks to build like a little thing, a little structure. Like keep the
Well,
wind off us.
I was thinking more about a campfire, but
Yeah.
Since the party has arrived at 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 in this plane, has the temperature changed?
um,
And you it changed when the storm started.
down here the temperature it fluctuates, but it isn't like extremely hot or cold.
Mm.
It might be annoyingly hot or cold, but not to an actual dangerous degree.
Mm. So having a bedroll and a blanket would suffice. Would it suffice to keep one relatively warm
Yes,
while sleeping?
yes.
Well, in that case, we could forego um, lighting a fire. We will have to keep watch. That's true.
Yeah, of course. Although without a light source, our eyes are probably limited.
Well, wait a minute. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Not on my level 1 spells. Mm, And how long would it last? It must be a willing creature. Oh, 8 hours, and it's not even concentration. Well, no, that's to change it. Okay. Arhant will say to Mel, I know that Sauron does not need it because he can see quite well in the dark. But if you want, I can grant you for up to 8 hours the ability to see in the dark.
I mean, that'd be useful for keeping watch, yeah.
And then after your watch has ended, I can cast it upon myself. And Sauron, well, he has his natural ability to see in the dark.
Yeah. I'm assuming you want to do guard shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not it's not a friendly place. Unless I'm mistaken, but as far as we know, we've been caught by a storm, attacked by leech-like creatures that came from the ground the moment it became wet, attacked by the flora that grew out of the ground when it rained. Then were attacked by mosquitoes, and or at least followed by them. We were attacked by a giant bird made out of sand. And we also found some kind of a dragon-like creature under the ground and giants that could potentially be hostile. So I think a guard or putting a watch is advisable.
Yeah.
So with that, who will take the first watch? Well, maybe I could. I could take the first watch if it's all right with the both of you,
Yeah.
because in that case I would be able to expend my arcane energies on myself and on you, Mel,
Mhm.
and then recover all of them after a night's sleep.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Okay, well, in that case, and I have two spell slots of second level left, so I will spend both of them. Or at least I will spend one of them to cast it upon on Arahant him, to cast it on himself, and take on the first watch.
Okay. Then give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. I really need new glasses because it's perception. A 16.
Do you want to use any portent dice or something, or do you keep the 16? This would be your last chance to use them today.
Yeah, well, I could, if I wanted, use the portent die.
Oh yeah, they are
Uh,
bad. Right? They are like low die.
no, I had a good one and a bad one. The good one has already been used,
Okay.
so it would be a 3 plus 6 instead of a 10 plus 6. So no, I will keep that roll.
Well, then I will regret to inform you that there has been a creature with a 17 on a stealth roll. um,
And he doesn't know about it, so he can't give it a 3.
correct. And as you are looking out, you feel something landing on your neck. And oh, I missed. This is annoying.
You're hearing Arhan say, not again.
I assume you react pretty strongly to
Yes,
said thing trying to attack you.
indeed. He's trying to, 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 to put it off him
I guess give
whilst.
me an unarmed attack.
Okay.
The creature... Wait, let me actually roll the creature's HP. Instead of using fixed. Because it's such a low number, could actually be a huge HP swing. Your unarmed attack should basically be like 1 plus your strength. If I remember correctly. Why is unarmed strike an item according to World 20? Yeah, you are always proficient with unarmed strikes and they deal 1 plus strength.
No.
Okay. Well, in that case, unarmed strike. Well, it would be my proficiency is 3, so it would be a simple. It would be a roll 1d20 plus 3. Because my strength is 10.
You actually hit. That's 1 damage, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you punch the creature off to the side. And now you can actually see it. It is...
On the
Is it-
side or on the ground?
yeah, basically onto the ground. It is
Okay.
a tick the size of maybe a child's head. And it's
And that was crawling.
and it's glowing kinda slightly red. And I guess we don't really need a real initiative for this. Do we?
No, I think we can handle a tick.
Yeah, so the tick will make its next move. So we just go back and forth until other characters get in, until you involve other characters. I guess it has 5 reach, so it should just be able to jump at you and attempt to bite you. Does a 13 hit?
It does not.
Okay. Then it bounces off harmlessly, lying on the floor again.
Thanks to my mage armor.
Yep.
It bounces off of my magical armor.
Okay. What do you do?
Other hand is calling to the rest of the party, and well no, before he does that he will oh he will point his hands in a fan-like manner towards the creature, and muttering an arcane word, blue lights appear around his fingers that that spit out in a curtain of bluish flames, and is casting burning hands. So
Is that a half save?
it's a save, yes.
Is it a half save or is it full save?
It's a half save.
Then let's see if you manage to deal more than 6 points of damage. Because, yeah, I don't need to save. The creature has 3
Okay.
HP. It burns to a crisp.
When you see like the flames of a gas stove that you open, and so it's those blue colored flames.
Now comes the funny question. Did you set the bedrolls on fire?
I don't know.
I mean,
You
Mel's
know,
definitely up to the sound of a flamethrower.
Let's. How about you roll a d4, and if you roll a 1, you shot into the direction of your bedroll. No, maybe a d6. Yeah, do a d6, and on 1, you shot into the direction of your bedroll.
A d6. Here we go. A 2.
Close, but no
It's very
cigar.
close. Our hand is panicked, but has just enough self-control. But just enough.
And you singe Mel's beard. What's going on?
My apologies, Mel. I was attacked by an a tick-like insect of some kind. I may have used excessive damage to destroy it.
Mel kind of glance over to the presumed like singed tick, or
Yeah.
singe marks where a tick was.
Yep.
Well, keep it down. Guys tries to go right back to sleep.
I will try. My apologies.
Because in his mind, his groggy mind, it's like he freaked out over a tick, and that's not
It
fully
was a-
putting it together of it being a demonic-esque tick.
Arhant is resuming his watch and muttering to himself, "Hmm, never they don't have respect for wizards anymore."
So, who has the second watch?
I guess that would be.
Then the watch switch happens, and you can give me a perception check.
I do
Yeah,
have
and
dark
Arhant
vision.
will cast
The dark
dark
vision.
vision on
Yep.
on Mel.
Hmm.
It lasts 8 hours, and it doesn't require a concentration. So
I at least get the 7 instead of the 6.
Wow. Mm. I mean, technically, that thing has a high stealth. Practically, it would be insanely hard to hide. Are these things silent? Not really. Well, I guess you start to hear the high-pitched drone of mosquitoes again.
God damn it. Where? In what direction?
Just a few of them swirling around your head. Or swirling around nearby. Swarming, any, just kind of around you, and not like in like a swarm, just single ones. I didn't want to press that. You haven't seen anything.
I mean, I didn't because I wasn't paying attention. I mean, if I don't sense anything off about them, I'm just gonna try to squash them like mosquitoes.
Yeah, and as you go about it, So, there are multiple things you notice. Ooh, would they even go after you? Yeah, first of all, the mosquitoes are really just seem to really just go after the others. Um, and the second one is, at one point, a very large mosquito lands near you. And when I say a very large mosquito, uh, I'm talking a very large mosquito dressed in a robe.
Mm.
Huh? Punk? They have fashion? Ooh.
Or I guess a relatively tattered robe, or you could maybe even call it a bunch of cloth scraps.
Even so, if they're insects, they have a sense of fashion.
You
That would be for, if Arahant was awake, that would be of some scientific interest for his.
um you don't really see its
But he's a
legs,
snake.
although although except for two of them which kind of poke out under the rope and end in probably like 20 to 30 centimeter long claws.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine it's good. So, I mean, if I see it, I'm gonna take aim at it and look to see what it's doing. Or attempting to do.
Uh, I think it's smart enough to not assume that you speak Infernal. Then it will use telepathy.
Oh, Mel's favorite.
Your friends taste strange.
Can I reply to it in my head?
Let's say yes.
Well, one, immediately when Mel's like, I hate when people talk in my head. But
Well, do you speak the language of this plane?
the thought of grumbling is in his head.
I thought so. Oh, I thought as much.
Arahant could. But he's a
Hey, you're mosquito food right now.
yeah, that also.
Malaya, you shouldn't be tasting us in the first place.
How else would I know who I'm dealing with?
I'll be right back.
This is a very inopportune moment for it to be leaving. What's his definition of right back? Could I just... I guess we could do a short break here. Just...
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Okay, that was the shortest break of all time. We're back.
Oh,
Well, how else would I know who I'm dealing with?
I mean, talking and getting to know him is typically a better way.
Well, your friends taste like. They taste like hunger. They taste like hunger for revenge. Like. I taste a hint of the strange being the vermin brought.
Okay. And I don't taste that way?
I haven't tried.
Well, that's good. Wow. If you could call off your friends, that'd be appreciated.
Yes. I may. So. I think I know your intentions. I assume you are looking for someone or something.
We are, yeah.
Well, maybe I should introduce myself. For I am of the Anophiloi.
Not even gonna try to pronounce that.
can you type it down, please?
Um. Wait. This is no. I'm not of the Ano. That's the wrong. I actually did the wrong thing. That's one of the creatures that can control. It's a colicoid. Let me type it out. Um.
Which which would make sense because the the Colicodes are the taxonomic name for mosquitoes, coming
Yeah.
from the Latin culix of culex, which means mosquito. So it does make sense if they are mosquito-like.
Well, and I in particular uh, go by the name of Stegomius.
Stegomius.
Yes.
Now, what are you wanting, Stagomius? Mind you, the crossbow is still leveraged his way.
see. I am the... And he slightly mumbles, I guess, I am the underlord of... parasites.
He's not selling himself very well. But okay.
And he kind of mumbles the under part over his under his breath.
Well, with such prestigious titles, again, what's your business with us?
Well, I saw you people treading to my domain, through my domain, and now I see that you have received a blessing from the land itself. And I think I know the one you are going after.
That would be...
his aims would prove detrimental to my title. Well, he would be a Kishigal, the Lord of Vermin.
That would be the one.
Well, you see, a Kishigal is currently threatening the domain of Yinogu. And as an underlord, my domain lies in between their domains. So should he fully take it in, I would no longer be a lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming you are seeking him.
In a roundabout way, yes.
Well, now that I know of your intentions by way of blood, I can tell you where he is.
All right. I believe anything this thing's saying to me.
I don't know. Do you believe the parasite demon? Give me an insight check.
Oh my god, I can't roll these for shit.
Well, do you? There
I
is
mean,
like a
maybe.
natural inclination to not believe demons.
No.
But he hasn't, like, contradicted any of your previous knowledge.
Nah, yeah, so I'm cautiously letting him continue going on about whatever.
So, for you see, you would have to travel throughout my domain at first, and for that, I would give you free passage. But, of course, I cannot speak for any of the others. And you would have to travel through the domain of the Lord of Night, or at least the outskirts, of his domain. And I just noticed that it just came to my mind that are all demon lords just... No, all demon lords are not implied to be male, but they are still always called lords, right?
Mm.
And never called ladies, even the female ones. Okay.
Yeah, they might have like a secondary title after that, but they're still referred to as lords.
Then, through the empty domain of the law... No, wait, that would be the wrong order. You are currently in the empty domain of the Lord of Cannibal Apes. Well, it's a long story. We kinda banished him and his entire domain. But that's for... that's a story for another day. After you cross the domain of night, you will move to some unclaimed territory, and afterwards you can move along the edges of the domain of the Lord of Worms. Until you cross into Akishigal's border. There, he has hidden within a garden of thorns. Not a garden. Mainly just a dome of thorns.
Hmm.
Sounds familiar.
But I feel like, or I think that according to your taste, or your companion's taste, they should be familiar with said thorns.
Okay.
You are familiar with thorns, right?
Have had some run-ins with them, yes.
And you have also had some run-ins with an entity of great hunger, right?
That would be correct.
Were you the ones who brought it here?
I brought it here. What do you mean?
Well, whatever that thing is, Akishigal is using it for a ritual.
Do you know the site of this?
How do I know the site of it? Well, it is the best guarded place in its realm. So it feels relatively obvious.
And where would that be?
I kinda already gave you like a description of the route, but of the route.
Oh, they're going through his plane to the other.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was. They were saying it was here somewhere. This other thing. I got you.
Yeah. Well, then, as promised, I shall leave you and your companions alone.
I appreciate that.
And with that, he disappears. And our hand and I guess Salwan and if you should ever respond to anything I write again, Adair, would now all have basically received a marking that kind of keeps mosquitoes away from them.
Nice.
At least no buzzing for a while.
You know, the funny thing you notice when the creature moves away is that even though it's massive, like larger than you, it still just sounds like a normal mosquito when flying.
Hmm.
Same frequency, same volume. And I think that concludes your guard.
Yeah.
And I don't want to play out the other people's guard.
What do you mean? Just NPCs roll.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah. This brings us to our Hans dreams.
Oh no.
Of course, as it always does.
Oh no.
Well, you have a very special dream this night.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem so much predictive as it seems.
Always his fucking dreams.
It seems lucid.
He never gets a a moment of rest. He's almost wishing to die because the dead are at peace. Although in D&D, that's not even a given.
Fair, yeah.
And if he's the plating of gods, well, they can just prevent it or bring him back and torment him further. My apologies, Jan. Please continue.
Well, yeah, your dream is not so much a prediction as it is an actual lucid dream with you just standing in a kind of Greek style temple or whatever, the like open buildings with the pillars and it's just the pillars and the roof. It's a fully open building.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they are. I think they are also called temples, right? But yes, and the building is surrounded by shadowy figures of different shapes and sizes. Of which only a few you can make out in any proper way. And each of them are offering you just power, knowledge, wealth, and whatever should you join in their service. The prominent ones you can make out are for the first time the actual like true full form of Akishigal, not just in like symbol, but in all his hideous glory.
Nice.
You would also make out the same creature that Mel just saw. I don't think there should be any others who. Yeah, no. These would be the two that you can fully make out. All the others are kinda obscured, covered in shade, each with different offers, ranging from mastery over certain magical domains to different hidden knowledge, whether it is about the arcane, the mundane, the divine, or, like I said, just power, glory, wealth. And they're just all standing around you, talking to you from all sides.
Power, wealth, glory, knowledge in all its forms.
Do you respond to any of the offers? As I said, it's a lucid dream.
Everything in the power, knowledge, its forms, and they upon him. So what he hears, what Arahant hears, is a cacophony of sounds. It's a cacophony. Yet he can distinguish every.
Yes.
Okay.
No, you get both sides of it.
Oh, weird dreams. Um. Let me check something.
Let me talk to my lawyer real quick.
No.
At least we're not dealing with devils, so that would be necessary.
Well, I'm just citing from my character sheet. But the two main characteristics of Arahant is that he's willing to listen to every side of an argument before making his own judgment.
Oh no.
That and that he's horribly awkward in social situations, reflecting his 7 in charisma. But then his ideal is knowledge. The path to power and self-improvement is through knowledge, which is quite neutral. His bond is that he's been searching his whole life for an answer to a certain question. The question being, why me? Why am I having those dreams, those visions? Why are those beings talking to me? Why me? And not another one. And that was the one I was looking at specifically. His flaw is unlocking an ancient mystery is worth the price of a civilization.
God.
So, with all that, Arahant is first listening to everything that is said and making his own judgment, will turn himself towards the being that is offering him knowledge.
No.
Because that's his drive. It's to know, to accumulate knowledge and science and to know stuff.
Well,
even if it must lead to the destruction of an entire civilization. Oh well.
So, are you looking for specific kind of knowledge? There are all manners of knowledge being offered.
Mm. Must he choose?
You cannot pledge yourself to all demon lords. Please don't.
Oh, they are all demon lords. I
I feel
thought
that was kind of implied with Akishigal and the mosquito man standing there.
okay. Yeah, well, Akashigali would know that it's a demon lord. That mosquito man, not necessarily,
True. Yes.
unless he has some good knowledge of the structure of the demonic and devilish realms. He does has a high stat in a high bonus in religion, so
Yeah, you may give me a religion and maybe you can find out a lot more.
a 27,
Oh,
a 19 plus 8.
well. So, you recognize a few more of the people who offer you things. For example, Shemosh, or Kamosh, uh, which sounds a lot more brutal and demonic than Shemosh, but as the Lord of Conquest and War offers you military knowledge. Um, the Lord of the Night, Alquan.
Oh, Lord of the Night and
Yeah, the Lord of the Night, Alcam. Oh,
Alcam.
yes.
Alcam. Okay.
Offers you he would actually just specifically offer you the knowledge of why you are the way you are. Um, who else do we have? I mean, Orcus would offer you the knowledge over how to attain eternal life.
Of course. Oh, well, wait. Lichdom. He is primarily a wizard.
Oh no.
But he's also a cleric.
Uh,
What is the alignment of the great catfish of wisdom?
uh, chaotic good.
Okay.
I mean, it would
Exactly.
at least work with the chaotic side of the demon lord. But not really.
Orcus. Immortality, of course.
Uh, Balthael or Barthael would offer you the knowledge over the weakness of the other demons or the weaknesses.
Mm.
Do I have any other fun ones? I guess those would be like the knowledge ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, I doubt you want to turn yourself into a beast, so Baphomet's out.
And the other statues, would he also recognize them or not?
You would recognize them all as demon lords.
Okay.
I'm not going to just list off all demon lords.
Okay, but he's tempted. He's tempted. He's tempted.
Nah.
The problem
Listen,
is he's tempted by he or not no he's of course tempted by knowledge, but he's torn between two. Either Alcam, because he would be able to tell him what he is and why, so he would be able to provide him the answer of the question that has been haunting Arhan's life for as long as he has lived. And maybe knowing of or having that knowledge, being able to maybe counter it or find some wording against it. On the other hand, the other one that is also appealing is Baltair, because it would teach them the knowledge of the other demon lords, which means also Akishigal.
I guess you
Which
voted
could
27 or in religion. You know that Barthael has is kinda angry at all the other demon lords uh, because they kind of forced him into hiding.
Mhm.
So he's searching for revenge. Also, he has the lower body of basically a giant worm or maggot with a humanoid torso growing out of it,
nah.
while the form of Alcam is basically a giant horned owl, just heavily demonified. But it's like mainly owl-like, and he is associated with the night and specifically owls. He also holds some domain over or some favor towards music.
Why not? I mean, to choose something random, or well, let's take music. Torn between those two choices. I have to stay true to. I could meta game, but I'm old school D&D. I've played D&D 27 no 28 years ago, because I just last Saturday I it was my birthday, and I have reached 48, so it has been 28 years that I've played that I start playing D&D, and it was in first edition. So
Oh, happy belated birthday.
thank you. So he Arahant will stay in character. I will not meta game. He has been searching for the answer, the answer for the question why he and what and how and things like that. So he will talk to Alcam.
And with that, all the other figures vanish. And Alcom says, "So, are you willing to pledge yourself to me in exchange for the knowledge over why you are the way you are?"
Well, I don't know how this will affect me or you, or but beside my my study of the arcane, I am a follower of the great catfish of wisdom. So, and you can say that I've already pledged myself to it.
Well, for our deal, I would require you to follow me instead.
When you're dealing with fiends, of course, there is bargaining. There always is.
Can I go to church on Sunday and then?
Damn it. Both as a player and as a character. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. What this, if, and it's a condition, if I would pledge myself to be one of your followers, following the great catfish of wisdom did grant me several abilities. Would I keep them or not? And here, as a player, I'm meaning a knowledge domain cleric. Would he still remain a knowledge domain cleric,
um,
or how does it work when you start worshipping the demon lord?
Well,
Things get a demonic twist.
I guess knowledge partially fits into his domain. But it depends. What is the stuff you actually get from the knowledge cleric?
You can choose to gain advantage in either arcana, religion, nature, or
Yeah, and then the channel divinity, and that's kind of all that you have from it, right?
no, and you gain knowledge of 2 extra languages.
Okay.
And then you have, of course, a channel divinity that would, well, that turn undead, and the other one that would grant you instead of turn undead, that would grant you proficiency with 1 tool or 1 skill of your choice for 10 minutes. It's called, I think, the knowledge of the ages. As you literally by your deity are given the or put down the knowledge to be able to use a tool or use a skill in which you are not proficient, or even in which you are not proficient with.
So from how this sounds, you are not that heavily invested in specifically having the knowledge domain. Because I think You would remain a cleric, but you would switch domain. Either to the darkness domain or to the moon domain. Wait, the moon domain doesn't do anything that creates light. Fuck, it creates light. Okay, never mind. Darkness domain it is.
Arahant will say, it's a kind offer, your lordship, and it is very tempting.
Alcam stretches out his claw.
But
His face turns into a frown.
I do hope that I will be able, one time or another, to learn myself, my predicament, and why and how. And I am afraid I will have, although it's very tempting, I will have to refuse, for which I apologize. Because Arahant is still, and in his heart, is still a good guy. So
Well, Alcam screeches and screeches, and as your eardrums threaten to burst, you wake up.
with a scream.
Probably.
And waking up, putting his hands on his ears, as if covering them for some of some kind of sound or against some kind of sound.
You got earwigs now? Like, what's going on?
No, I had one of my visions again. Although this time it was
Yeah,
more,
I had a.
they were more vivid than I could actually interact with the figures in my vision.
Yeah, an interesting night as well.
Please do tell.
Well, that persistent group of mosquitoes came back around, and there happened to be a pretty damn big one with them.
Mm-hmm.
That took to conversing in my head. You know, my favorite of tools, and we discussed that they don't seem to like Akishiga all that much either.
That's quite interesting.
And that as an intermediary plane, they'd allow us to travel along the outskirts of it in our pursuits.
Hmm. And would they offer us any aid against Akishigal?
Not openly, no. Just more so as in a transient sort of space, allowing us to go through unhindered.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Ooh, that 27 religion track about about the nature of demon lords could, in that case, also maybe come in handy again. Because one of the big differences in how the demon lords interact with each other and how the archdukes would interact with each other is that for a demon lord, another lord having a similar domain to them is more of a is basically a threat to them, as it could take them over, and they are very uninclined to. Yeah, they are very uninclined to ally with demon lords. The more similar they are to them, while
Mm-hmm.
for the devils, they are specifically like they are like specifically working together with other archdevils with similar interests or domains to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one the devils would be more would have more of a hierarchy and have more uh, intellect, if you can call it that way.
No, it's like structure and such.
Yeah, indeed, and knowing that that to achieve a goal they need to compromise sometimes. Whilst demon lords are very territorial, and it's always all for them.
For example, like Akishigal wouldn't really find, I don't know, Jubilex very threatening because they have nothing to do with each other. But Mr. Parasite would be an annoyance to him.
Yeah, so while I don't really believe in walking hand in hand with any sort of demonic presence, if we agree to look the other way for each other for a common goal, then that's fine, I guess.
Hmm.
I already have enough strange amalgamations of bug and flesh to face. I don't need to add more onto the pile.
Well, I just refused the bargain.
That could have
Yeah.
just been another free passage.
Maybe.
Yeah, but for him, it's more commitment because it's giving up his entire deity.
Yeah, indeed.
Whereas Mel's like, yeah, I guess you're all right. I don't have any allegiance towards anything other than the craft.
And also, I would have to rewrite my character.
No.
I mean,
Uh,
it would just be like 2 features or something.
yeah, but they are the features that make Arhant who he is.
I
Or
feel
who
like the
he is.
wizard features are actually more core to it, but
Mm-hmm.
like, have you actually ever used your channel divinity? Because I think you have only really ever used it to recover spell slots. Or maybe
Oh,
you turned undead once.
I have used it twice to turn undead.
Yeah, but I don't think you ever really used Knowledge of the Ages, did you?
No. but having expertise in
Oh
and
yeah,
two
it's
knowledge
expertise.
skills.
Oh yeah, it was expertise. Yeah.
Yeah, it was expertise in two knowledge skills.
Yeah, and he's definitely used those knowledge skills pretty often.
Yeah, indeed, and the fact that he gains two languages. So
But we have a lot to
well,
ponder on.
Arhant will say, uh, I I was surrounded by all the demon lords, and they all offered me a boon of some kind, but only if I would pledge myself to them. I will I will admit to you, Mel, that I was tempted by one of them, a being called Alkam, who could offer the knowledge of what I am and why. So why do I have those dreams and those prophecies? And what is the cause of it? What is the root of it? I could also had gained immortality and lichdom if I wanted, but um, and although I was severely tempted, I turned him down and stayed true to the great catfish of wisdom.
That's good.
But I also had the choice to learn, if I pledge myself to another one, to learn the weaknesses of all the other demon lords, which would have given us maybe a tactical advantage.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'd want something out of that bargain, and that seems pretty big knowledge for probably a pretty big cost. So probably best you avoid it anyways. As I said, even with this mosquito demon, I'm agreeing to not go up in arms, but not much more than that. I understand that they look to gain from us disturbing the disturbance in the balance, but given the stakes at hand, we're going to be going towards that end regardless. So if us getting there is just a little bit easier, then all right.
Mm, indeed. So I think we both did, or both made the right choice.
Well, and I think with those choices we will end today's session.
Yeah.